Now evaluate your habits, okay, and your physical health as it is, and the habits that your health habits, and figure out if you need to make some changes. Are those the habits that are going to get you to 80 or 90 or 100, right? And for me, they weren't, and I had to make some changes. Hey, welcome back. It is Rob here with chapter 18 of the Success Secrets, the 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy. That is the current book. We are on chapter 18. Take excellent care of your physical health. I couldn't agree more with the principles in this chapter. I can definitely disagree with some of the methods. We'll get into that, okay? But if you've read it, you might already know where I'm going with that. But let's just talk about the chapter here, and I will get into it, and then you can understand where I'm coming from with that. And of course, leave comments with your own thoughts and your own ideas about all this stuff, because that's what really keeps it going, keeps the conversation going, right? So, take excellent care of your physical health, right? This is something that we really need to focus on, because what is the point of becoming a self-made millionaire if you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? If you were to work all that time to become a self-made millionaire and then, or more, maybe a billionaire, and then you can't enjoy any of what you've created because you die a year later because you never took care of your health. Like, that's not what anyone wants, right? That's not what we're going for here. So taking care of your health is key. It's vital. And also from just an energy standpoint, right? In order to have the power and the energy and the fuel to be able to go the distance, to be able to persevere, to be able to create the things that you want to create in your life, you've got to take care of your health. Okay? There's no other way to put it. All right? So take excellent care of your physical health, and it starts with, of course, goals, right? Set a longevity goal for yourself. Do you want to live to be 80? Do you want to live to be 90? Do you want to live to be 100 or more? All right? My goal personally is 100. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but you know what I do know is, with that as my goal, I make different choices, right? I make the kind of choices that might actually get me there. And whether they do or not, I'm still improving, okay? And that's the idea here, right? Is you're going to be making different choices for your life once you set this goal and you decide on it and you really hammer in that this means something to you, right? And you really want to do it. So, set a longevity goal. His minimum in the book is 80, at least 80 years old, right? And again, set it wherever you want to set it, but set it for at least 80. That's not a bad idea, right? And as he points out in the book, you can get there if you're committed to it, all right? So, nothing is guaranteed in life. I understand that. But again, it's the mindset that we're talking about here. It's the idea that if you set this as a goal and you commit to it, you're going to make choices that will point you in that direction, as opposed to choices that will just leave things to chance, right? So set a longevity goal. Now evaluate your habits, okay, and your physical health as it is, and the habits that your health habits, and figure out if you need to make some changes. Are those the habits that are going to get you to 80 or 90 or 100, right? And for me, they weren't, and I had to make some changes. And we've talked about that in some of the other chapters. But the changes that you make are not easy, but they're necessary if you want to live longer, right? And that's all there is to it. I mean, we have, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, and whether you think that, your body is just a case, basically, for your soul, and so, but you still got to take care of your body. Like, your body is still here in the universe, and there are still physical limitations that you have to deal with, right? And we don't live in the spiritual realm where there are no limits. We live in a limited area, which is the earth, okay? And so there are physical limitations that you must acknowledge and you must face up to, really. And so evaluate where you're at and the changes that you need to make, and get about, making those changes. Get started on that. Now, there are 3 health essentials, okay, that Brian Tracy talks about in this chapter. The health essentials that he prescribes, I absolutely positively agree with. The 3 health essentials are proper weight, proper diet, and proper exercise. okay? Maintain a proper weight, a healthy weight, okay? Maintain a balanced diet, whatever that might mean, and maintain an exercise regimen, all right? I strongly agree with those things, right? The way that he prescribes going about them and the different recommendations that he has, I'm not necessarily on board with. And it's not a knock against Brian Tracy, but let's look at this from a real perspective. Brian Tracy is not a physician. He is not a dietitian. He is not a nutritionist. If you've ever seen him, you know he does not have a Mr. Universe style physique, okay? I'm not saying he's not in good shape. I don't know personally, but I can tell you that he's not an expert in any of those fields, okay? He's not. The book is about becoming a self-made millionaire. That's something that he's an expert in. And business and sales, and there's all these things that he's an expert in. He's not a physician, again, okay? And he's not, I'm sure that he probably has studied nutrition and has studied exercise and things like that, the way I have as well. And he's come to his own conclusions. And that's what I recommend that you do. And that's what I've done. I'm an athlete, and I've spent my whole life in athletics. And so I've learned a lot and studied a lot and trained a lot. And I've never been a personal trainer, but I've had them. And, there are people that you should take advice from that are experts in these categories, in these fields. Go find them. Learn from them, okay? Dive into this stuff and make your own conclusions. Draw your own conclusions based on your own research, all right? That's the safest way to do this as far as I'm concerned. Don't think I don't think that there's a reason to take anyone's advice when it comes to your physical health without first examining it yourself, okay? Don't take it at face value. That's all I'm trying to say here. And again, not especially from someone who isn't, qualified to teach it, okay? Brian Tracy's qualified to teach a lot of things. I don't think physical health is one of them. And again, it's not because I don't think he's physically healthy. He's still alive, and he's an older guy now. And he's definitely, what he's doing is working for him, okay, in terms of this. But at the same time, it's not something that I would recommend you just wholeheartedly accept because he said it in this book, okay? So, take it with a grain of salt. But most important, do your own research. And most important of all, do something, okay? Do something to make sure that you are participating in these proper exercise regimens and proper diet, okay? And maintaining a proper weight, all right? Because that's important, all right? So you've got action steps all over the place in this chapter, okay? Set a longevity goal, right? Then figure out what habits you are partaking in. What are your habits? Are they helping you or hindering you, okay? Are they getting you there, or are they going to keep you from getting there, okay? And make some changes where you need to, all right? And then another action step is you've got to get on board with these health essentials, okay? Proper weight, proper diet, proper exercise. All right, whatever that means to you. Again, and finally, the point, the last point that I want to make, I kind of made at the beginning as well. But your health is your number one most important investment that you will ever invest in. Okay, stocks and bonds and companies and all that kind of stuff, and financial investments aside. All right, your physical health. That is the investment that means the most. Because guess what? If you don't invest in that, you're not going to be here long enough to see your dreams through. And I'm sorry, it's sad but true. I hate to drop a bomb like that and be a heavyweight here. But it's true. And, we have to take that into consideration. We have to look at what we are doing in our lives and whether that is getting us where we want to go or not. And in terms of your physical health, are the things that you're doing going to keep you around long enough in order to achieve your goals, right? In order to reach your targets, and in order to have success, and in order to become a self-made millionaire, or whatever it is that your financial goals are, right? And your business goals. You've got to take care of yourself physically, all right? So again, I can't agree more with what Brian Tracy talks about in this chapter on a 30,000-foot principle-based level. It's just the specifics of what he talks about. Maybe you agree with it all. Maybe you take issue with some of it like I do. That doesn't matter, okay? But I do want to know. It matters enough that I want to know in the comments what you think, okay? When you read this chapter, when you listen to this chapter, what do you think of his advice? What do you do? What advice do you have for others? That's one of the big things I want, is for everybody to share their ideas, right? As I've talked about many times on this channel, and I will talk about it again when I mention that you need to get over to the website and join our community if you haven't already. It's at www.yoursoulsource.com/resources. And if you're sick of me saying it, pass on the information to a friend and tell them to get on over there and sign up, okay? And because that, as you know, if you're signed up, that's the community, and that's where we all win together, right? And we all chase success, and that's the important thing here, is the collaboration and the people coming together to help each other win. That's what I'm all about. That's what my channel is all about. That's what my website is all about, and my company. And so I want you to join me over there. It's totally free of charge. I've never said that before. It's kind of, to me, goes without saying. But if you are so skeptical that you won't even go visit to find out because you think it's going to cost something, maybe we're not right for each other anyway, and so you're probably not watching this video. But head on over and check that out. If this video helps at all, throw a like on here, subscribe to the channel, because all I do is talk about this stuff. How we can win, how we can grow, how we can improve, right? The 1% every day that you get to improve, and it doesn't add up to 365%. I'll go into that in a future video. The math there is actually astounding when you actually break it down, because what happens is the 1% compiles, right? Compounding interest, it's the same principle. And so over the course of 365 days, you are not 365% better. You are way more than that, okay? So the 1% improvement every day, that's what we're after here, right? So, again, Chapter 18, take excellent care of your physical health. Please do so. Please drop a line. Ask me for my own take on the things that I do, if you're interested in that, the exercise regimen that I partake in, the diet that I go by, that I use. If you want to know that kind of thing, share yours below. Share yours with the group. However you want to participate here, I just encourage you to participate. All right? And I will see you next time in Chapter 19.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.